sheet moet iets meer omhoog, ik weet dat het warm is. Heroes Dutch Comic Con Utrecht, is het een beetje gezellig? Laat je horen. Kom lekker dichterbij. We hebben een super tof panel nu. Dit zou eigenlijk gehost worden door David Gomez, maar die is te druk bezig bij de Comic Alley, Artist Alley bij de Comic Stands. En daarom is last minute gevraagd of ik dit wil doen. Vind ik super tof, is een eer voor mij. Want Sam J. Jones en Manuel Garcia zijn alle twee helden in hun vak, respectievelijk in de filmwereld en de comicwereld. So I'm gonna switch to English for this intro. How many people have seen or have got the Flash Gordon comic? Yeah, I know somebody got it. Yes, yes, yes. So, we're going to do a little panel right now with Manuel Garcia. He did the cover for the comic book, and also we have a legendary figure with us on stage. He was in the legendary cult classic Flash Gordon. He was on the A-Team. He was in the Highwayman. He was in Stargate. So, make some noise for Manuel Garcia and the legendary Mr. Sam J. Jones! No, you go right there if you want. Manuel goes there.
Hey, shoot for brain power right here.
Yes, sir. Thanks, so glad to have you guys here. So if you have questions for Sam J. Jones or Manuel Garcia, think about what you want to ask and you can line up behind the mic, but first I'm going to sit and talk to them for a minute. This is legendary, like I said before. This is why all these Comic Cons exist, because of the people that make the comics, the people that were in the superhero business in the early days like Sam J. Jones. So this is amazing. Now, I want to start with you, Manuel. Yesterday there was a movie night with Sam J. Jones in the building. We could see Flash Gordon on the big screen and we could get the comic, right? Can you tell the audience and us, how did you get to make the cover for this comic, the number 0?
Okay. I get the chance last year to be drawing the Flash Gordon series. That was a dream come true for me. I have been drawing it for 1 year, and when it came the chance to come to the Utrecht convention, David told me, what about if we can make a special cover for the issues there or for the convention? I say, oh, great idea, and go for it. Yeah.
So it's also the poster for the Comic-Con. It's not just the cover for the comic,
yeah.
right?
Yeah.
That's amazing. So it's the poster for this con, and it's the cover of the comic. So that's Manuel Garcia. And again, make some noise for Manuel, because these are the people writing the stories, making the covers, drawing the covers, and all that. Really great, man. I'm glad I have it, and I haven't signed with both of you. Now, I want to speak to you, Sam. Before we get into the movie stuff, how do you feel about having a Flash Gordon comic in 2026, an exclusive comic book, number 0 in Holland? How do you feel about that?
That's wonderful, and he's the guy to do it. How many, do you have a copy of the comic book yet? Raise your hand. Do you have a good? And the poster, you need the con poster as well. Yeah, so he's done many, this is one of many Flash Gordon comic books that he's doing with the publisher here and the publisher's Man Cave Studios. But yeah, he's the right choice. He's the one, and it's great to be here in the Netherlands. And we've been walking for a couple of days. I've never seen so many bicycles in my life. You need traffic lights just for bicycles.
Yes. See?
I love it.
And that's what I love about Sam J. Jones. I'm so glad you're here, man. I'm so glad we get to spend some time. His energy is super positive. This man is all about longevity and the triple blessings. We're going to talk about that later. But back to you, Manuel. How do you feel working on a Flash Gordon comic with somebody like Sam Jones in the periphery through David? How do you feel about that?
Well, it's, like I said before, it's a dream come true.
Yeah? Closer, yeah.
Okay. It's like a dream come true, like I said before. But yesterday I have a very special moment in my life. Because, well, you know, I probably saw the film at the theaters when it goes out in the 80s. And well, I fall in love with the Flash Gordon character. And I this is like a dream come true. But yesterday I was waiting in the hotel hall for Sam Jones to come, and when he came out from the elevator, and he brings a copy of Flash Gordon comic for me to sign, and it's like a full cycle. So the man that made me love Flash Gordon come here, and I had to sing a comic for him. That's wonderful.
No, it was a great moment. It was a great moment. So we met in the, like Manuel said, in the lobby of the hotel, and he left out one very important information. He showed up with the Flash T-shirt on. Okay,
the original, the white and red one.
Yeah.
That was nice. So that's a dream come true, right?
Yeah.
So I guess that's why we are here as well today with Manuel and Sam. If you guys get inspired by this panel or at this con, you can make your dreams come true, because Manuel's dream came true, and Sam Jones is just amazing that he's still here after 46 years after the film. And that wasn't even your first film. There was 10 before that, right?
Yeah, the film with Bo Derek, the film.
Right.
That came, we did it in 77, came out in 78. But I started in, you ready for this? I started in 1976. So how many years is that? 50.
Crazy. And you're still here, but I want to talk to Sam J. Jones for a minute, because it's so legendary that he's doing the comic collab with the Heroes Dutch Comic Con. And Manuel, why is it legendary? Not only because the comics are the essence of how this is all built, all the Comic Cons, all the superhero films, but also Sam J. Jones is in 65 films, right? You did 65 movies or more? More, right? 80.
But who's counting?
Who's counting?
But more television than movies, actually, yeah.
How many? You did hundreds of shows, right?
Hundreds of shows, yeah. We have going 50 years. I mean, how much can we pack into 50 years, I guess is what it is, you know?
It's amazing, because I want to ask you a question. I wanted to save it for tomorrow, but I'll do it anyway right now. So Public Enemy, a legendary rap group, they actually sampled the Flash Gordon soundtrack by Queen on a song called Terminator X to the Edge of Panic. And as a kid, when I heard that, that made me appreciate the soundtrack in the movie even more. Did you know about that song?
Well, no, I knew about the song. I didn't know about the connection.
Nice.
Flash Gordon, I didn't know about that.
Because I'm an 80s kid basically, and we kind of grew up on Flash Gordon. Also because groups like Public Enemy were sampling the soundtrack, so it kept the movie alive around the world. It's amazing. And then also another question, as an A-Team fan, you were on an episode of the A-Team back in the days, right?
I think I did 2 or 3 episodes.
Right.
Yeah, no, 18 was great. Mr. T, I am Mr. T. What a great individual. A wonderful man, he really is.
Yeah, right? I believe you, and I know I grew up on that, but I wanted to know specifically, what was it like to be on set for the biggest show, one of the biggest shows ever, and especially at that time? How was the vibe when you were doing the A-Team?
Yeah, I mean, you know, it's a little bit different for actors when you're doing a guest appearance, right, and a TV. So you walk Mr. T and Dirk and all the guys, wonderful. So it's their show. So I'm coming on as a guest. So there's a little bit more pressure, a little bit more, but they were very welcoming. And again, at that time, in the 80s, right? The 80s? Yeah, 90s? 80s, right?
80s.
Yeah. So that's a lot of years there, Brain Power.
Yeah.
Well, but they were very welcoming, and just it was a big show, big network show. And I enjoyed it. I think they brought me back for another episode a couple years later. But again, Mr. T really stood out for me because he loved people. He still loves people. He loves the children. He loves the children, he loves the people. So I think you need to bring him here to Heroes Dutch Comic Con. Mr. T, yeah.
Yeah, I would love that. Make some noise for the A-Team. We worked with Dirk Benedict's face before and Murdoch, so that was great. Rest in peace to Hannibal, but yes, Mr. T. So, and you were also on Stargate, right?
Yes, SG-1. I played the bounty hunter, and that's going back a few years. I believe my character kidnapped the entire team. I kidnapped them. So I kind of started out as the mean, evil guy, and I think I ended up being pretty good to them after a while. But great show.
Definitely a great
In
show.
Vancouver, Canada. What an incredible place to work, really. Vancouver, yeah.
Yeah, I rewatched the episodes last week to get into the whole vibe. So back to you, Manuel. So here's the thing. The comic business and the comic artists inspire the industry. But how does the industry of movies and actors inspire you?
It's a perfect, I don't know the name in English, symbiosis.
Symbiosis.
Yeah, it's a perfect match, you know, because well, I have a lot of inspiration of looking at movies, and when I plan, when I start with a comic, the first thing we do is read the script and make small thumbnails, and it's a way to I imagine the script like a movie, and I go by choosing the picture and the shot, and I make the comic with that in mind. So for me, it's a very similar language.
So can you say it's kind of like back and forth? It's the symbiosis. So it's you making the art, and it's the artist creating the films, and then it goes back and forth, kind of like, right?
Yeah.
That's great. So are there any other comics you made you can tell the audience about as far as comics inspired by movies?
I working in comic. Yeah, well, I started in the comic industry like 25 years ago.
Wow.
Drawing the Avengers.
The Avengers.
The Avengers.
The Avengers. Wow.
The Avengers. Yeah.
25 years ago.
Yeah.
Hey, make some noise for Manuel Garcia. Has been in the game for 25 years. Started out drawing the Avengers, man. Crazy.
Yeah, crazy. Those comics are now classics.
Wow.
Yeah.
You've been around.
Yeah, for a
That's
while.
great. So Sam, go back to Sam. I want to speak about a movie that's actually kind of like, it had a comic-y vibe, and it's legendary in its own right, but you were legendary in it for playing yourself, and kind of like a tongue-in-cheek Flash Gordon cameo. Ted, anybody remembers the film Ted? Mark Wahlberg, Ted 1 and 2? Sam J. Jones is in there. How was that for you to do that film? I thought it was so cool you did that.
Well, yeah, Ted and Ted 2. By the way, that little teddy bear, he was a naughty little dirty bear, wasn't he? He really was. No, he was an interesting phone call. Seth MacFarlane called me, I think 14 years ago, and said, hey, I'm doing this movie for Universal Studios. He said it's my first movie, which a lot of people don't know that. Ted was the first movie Seth MacFarlane wrote, directed, and produced. But it was a funny question. He said, I want you to play yourself. So I've never been asked to play myself before. But, after I read the script, I said, well, Seth has done some really creative stuff, but also some kind of funky stuff, But I said, look, I read your script. It's funny. But it is, did I party in the 80s? Yes, I partied in the 80s. And see, that's my party voice, okay? But it's funny when you play yourself. So it's pieces of me, small pieces of me, parts of me. But yeah, it was fun. And it really opened up, it was incredible because, again, I've been doing this a lot of years. So now I get to meet all the fans. And Ted introduced the younger age group. So now I get grandfather, son, grandson, grandmother, daughter, granddaughter. It's wonderful. I love it.
Amazing. And you guys line up for the questions, but I want to ask one more thing relating to Flash Gordon, how I experienced watching Ted. It's so great to see you doing those kind of like tongue-in-cheek scenes about Flash Gordon, but they were still great. They had the same vibe as the original film, and it kind of makes you even more bigger as a human being and an actor by not really taking it serious, but still being yourself. It was so great, man. Like, were you aware of that?
Well, look, you read the script, you study it, you talk to the director. All actors, by the way, we have some actors and actresses here. Okay, here's the deal. So when we're hired, to do this, even as an artist, see, Manuel as an artist, he wants to share the creator's vision. He's the creator with another creator, so to make that work, they have to share the vision. Same as an actor, you walk on a film set, you want to be part, not just a part, yes, you want to bring your signature. I mean, Brainpower has a great signature, doesn't he? I'm talking about his character, his countenance. So his brand. So we want to be able to share that with the director, whatever project we do. So yeah, Ted was. It's amazing. It did open up a lot more doors in a funny way.
Yeah.
In a good way. And I think you were talking about the Comic-Con scene in TED. Yes?
Right, yeah.
Well, that was done on a soundstage, but I want to tell you, Seth MacFarlane, he actually, when you walked into that soundstage for the Comic-Con scene, he actually hired the real people who work at the Comic-Con. It was a comic convention. It really was. Same people.
Love it. And last question about related to this. How did you guys shoot the reboot scene of Flash Gordon when Mark sees you and you're on the
rocket side? Yeah. We shot that. For me, it was kind of uncomfortable. Okay. It's like being on a motorcycle with Mark's arms around me. It was wild, you know.
That was just blue
But it is a really cool, funny moment. And now when I do some of these Comic-Cons, they actually have a mock-up version of a rocket cycle. And with the fans, we get to do that scene together with the photo opportunity. Yeah, it's pretty crazy, yeah.
Wow, because of Ted.
Because of that, yeah.
I love that. Was that green screen, blue screen stuff, or?
Well, no, it was computer generated. So in other words, when you see the bear and me talking, I mean, there's no bear there. There's nothing there. There's a little piece of tape on the wall that I'm looking at.
Right, gotcha.
Now, there was one scene in the movie that was cut out. I don't know why they cut it out, but it was of Ted. We're in the kitchen on the kitchen sink, and Ted is shampooing my hair in the kitchen sink. So, but we had to show something. So all we got a teddy bear, a stuffed animal, and we got his paws wet, and we put his paws on top of my head with soapy paws, like he was shampooing my hair. But he wasn't there, he didn't exist. So they cut that out.
They cut it out. And last question, then we're going to go into the Q&A related to Flash Gordon. The scene with you on the rocket cycle, since we're talking about it, the background was just like the original movie. Was that like really a matte painting, or did they also do effects for that?
Yeah, the original movie was a blue screen. You say a blue screen, and I believe for the rocket cycle it was a green screen.
For Ted as well?
I mean, it was computer generated, but it was a green screen. Everybody's doing green screen now for the special effects. Yeah.
Love that. Thanks, man. Thanks. It's so analytical, but as a fan appreciating the films, I wanted to know. So, Manuel Garcia, Sam J. Jones, get ready to ask your question. I will be moderating the Q&A as of right now. Hello, how you doing?
Hello. This question is for Sam. First off, I loved your cameos in that, and I love the campiness of the original Flash Gordon. It's campy in all the right ways. And I was just curious, do you still have any props or things that you took from the Flash Gordon set?
Oh, I didn't take anything. I just borrowed it. Well, I have in the beginning they had about 9 or 10 of the Flash shirts, originals. And they were all destroyed in the action, the fight scenes. But I kept the only one in history. I have that.
Wow.
You cannot have my Flash shirt. But Manuel has a copy of the Flash shirt. No, what sets that Flash shirt apart from other, because people come up to me and they said, oh, I have the real Flash shirt. The real Flash shirt is hand-painted. They hand-painted all the red, hand paint.
Wow.
And so the way you discern if it's real, there's discrepancies little drips of red paint discrepancy. So that's how you tell the new one from the original.
I love that.
Thank you.
Thank you for the great question. Discrepancies in the shirt. I love that. Handmade, original. Wow. Yeah, great. Hi.
Hi,
How are you guys doing? Hi.
I'm doing great. It's mostly for my mom because she watched you when she was 25 years old when you came out.
Great.
And she really thought you were handsome in the movie and she still thinks you're pretty handsome
Oh,
right now.
well, thank you. That's
But
very
she's pretty
nice.
nervous and shy, so.
Okay, but you still have a crush on me, yes?
Yeah.
Okay, good.
So thank you very much for being here.
Well, thank you for coming. Manuel and I and Brainpower, we appreciate you guys. We really do. We need to talk about that triple blessing. Yeah, if it wasn't for the fans, okay, we wouldn't be up here talking right now. So it's wonderful.
And you both have the comic, right?
Yeah, we got that.
She got the last one. She got the last one. Amazing. Thanks. Thank you so much, you guys. And we got another question, and then we'll talk about the triple blessing for sure. Hey.
I have a simple question for you, Sam. I was wondering if there's any memorable moments that you can share about the production of the Flash movie. Was there anything during production that set it apart from the other movies that you've done?
Well, I mean, there's a couple of the actors who were set apart. That would be Brian Blessed, who played Prince Baltan. I mean, if he was in this room right now, I mean, he's got the same energy as Brainpower, but he takes it on a whole nother level. But no, he was just, because I was very young, very naive, and I was sort of like, really nervous, So he made me feel very welcoming. He sort of literally took me under his wings, like the Hawkman wings, right? No, he really did. He was very encouraging. And Max von Sydow, who played Ming the Merciless. Always, because I was 23. I was 23 years old. So they were very helpful in encouraging me and building me up. It's wonderful. Yeah.
Thank you for sharing.
Thanks. Great question. I was also wondering, the guy that was asking about the props, I've been looking for the Ming sword, the one that you yield at the end of the film. There was one sold like a couple of years ago at Julian's auction, so they float around. I wish I could have bought it and brought it here, but it's just an amazing prop.
I mean, I should have probably kept, other than, my script, my personal script, and of course the shirt, but I should have kept the swords. I mean, there's some big time Flash Gordon collectors who have kept all that.
Yeah.
All the swords you're talking about, all the different costumes, yeah.
Great, man. Great. So, Manuel, what keeps you going as a comic artist? What keeps you going? What keeps you inspired after 25 years? So how are you still inspired after all these years?
Well, at the end of the day, it's a job for the main thing that maintain me in the drawing table day by day is the family. But
I understand.
Every day I sit on my table it's a fantastic feeling, and just pray to keep it going another 25 years. If I could.
Wow.
Yeah.
And that's a great reason to keep going. But creatively, you are doing what you really want to do, right?
Yeah. The other day, one friend of mine, we were talking, and I was thinking, well, man, I'm really tired right now by different things. And he asked me, what would you do if you were not drawing right now? And I think for a second, and I say, I was drawing. I will be drawing. So that's what I love to do. Yeah.
It's amazing. And Sam, you mentioned in a few interviews, one of your big inspirations is your wife.
Oh yeah, my wife, my family. Manuel has you have three daughters. Yes.
3 daughters.
So our family, and we have a lot of children. We have getting ready to have 11 grandchildren.
Wow.
So yeah, my wife has been very inspirational. Men out there, okay, I'm going to give you just a little bit of encouragement about how to make a successful marriage, just a little bit, okay? Number one, pray with your wife. But number two, you ready, men? Listen to your wife. Listen to your wife, okay? But no, my wife is very encouraging, but also she's very strong with me. She'll tell me things like, no, wrong thinking, change your thinking, okay? Make a different choice. And so, you know, we've been together 35 years, so she's really the glue, the fabric that keeps this relationship and the family, our wives too, very, very strong. But yeah.
Amazing, because I told you before backstage, and we spoke yesterday briefly about longevity, and I think it's amazing that you are still here, looking very healthy, doing your thing. And then you told me about the triple blessing. Can you elaborate on that?
Yeah, I think, you know, when we talk up here about the comic books and the movies and the music, what Brain Power does, I want you to also apply this to what you do. It's all the same application, no matter what we do for work. But yeah, I mean, I just keep things very simple. But again, the triple blessing for me, right? The first blessing for all of us, if we're really honest, the first blessing is obviously, especially for men, is work. Getting hired for work. It brings us value. And then I think the second blessing is obviously if we do well. You know, if we do very well in whatever job we do, that's the second blessing. And then we were talking about this backstage. The third blessing is what we're all doing here right now. Longevity. That's the triple blessing. And it's just wonderful that you know, after 25 years, he's talking about the same thing he started with. After 50 years, you've been doing this for how many years?
My first single came out in 1999.
1999.
Yeah. But I was doing it for 10 years before that.
Well, so that's what, 35, I don't know, 35 years?
Something like that.
Yeah. So this is what
Thanks.
we're talking, and this again applies to you. So that triple blessing is, and really the third blessing of longevity isn't something that we can make up and do ourselves. It really comes down to your support. Really, you take the time, you pay the money, you come here, you take the time to watch us on television, you take the time to buy the comic books, to buy his music. So it really comes down to you and your support. So I want to tell you a secret. You dictate really our success in a way. You do. That's a small one, a big one. I really believe that. I believe that.
That's crazy. Make some noise for yourselves. Heroes Dutch Comic Con. And make some noise for Sam J. Jones and Manuel in the building. And I love the fact that you guys are here. You've been doing this for such a long time. Shout out to David Gomez. I'm filling in for him. And also, I'm so happy you're here. We've been watching your stuff for decades, and it's just amazing to be together. Is there anybody that has a question for Manuel Garcia or Sam J. Jones? Step up to the mic, because we can talk forever, but you can get your autographs for Mr. Jones over there, meet and greet, some picture booth stuff. The comic stuff is over there for Manuel Garcia. Is there anybody that has a question? Yes, my man with the Skeleton Crew shirt. Hey, man.
Hi, this is for Sam. How many of the stunts in the Flash Gordon movie which are actually involved in? Did you do all the stunts, or was it?
Yeah, no, I'm very clear about this in the industry. I don't do stunts. I do a lot of my own fight scenes, but I leave the stunts to the stuntmen. I mean, there was one stunt, we call it a fire gag, when I was in the rocket ship, the spaceship, getting ready to crash into Ming the Merciless. So the stuntman said, okay, we're going to put a big fire in front of you, and we're going to blow the fans. So the fire and the smoke is going to blow in your face. So when it gets too hot, make sure you run out of the way. Well, all of a sudden I'm there, the camera's rolling, and it got hot, and I'm looking at, seriously, I'm looking at the hair on my arms. The hair's gone. No, the hair is gone, and it smells like burning hair. So guess what I did?
Hey Sam, so I love the elaborate sets on Flash Gordon, just the colorful stuff and everything being actually pretty real, you know, it's practical effects. What was it like for you? I mean, was it the New Yorker that wrote it's like a discotheque in the clouds or something? Like, that's the way it looked, the movie? Something like that, paraphrasing here. What was it like for you as basically a young actor coming up to be on those elaborate sets with Timothy Dalton and stuff?
Yeah, the famous production designer, and I know he had to be an artist too, Daniele Donati. Who's he? He's the production designer for the movie Flash Gordon. Also, if you saw the Fellini movies,
Wow.
he did all the Fellini movies.
Wow.
So that's it's the creative eye that he had, and that's why you saw the sets, the costumes, everything, the art, yeah. And then they followed, and then Dino De Laurentiis and Daniele Donati followed Alex Raymond's art on the movie. The artist who created Flash Gordon. By the way, Flash Gordon was created by Alex Raymond January 1934.
Right.
So what's the math on that? We're 22. So in 8 years, the 100th anniversary of Flash Gordon. I look pretty good for 100 years old.
Yeah, because that's true. And is it also true that the original Flash Gordon was, you maybe know that, you know about this as well, the original Flash Gordon was an answer to Buck Rogers somehow, right? Or a reaction to
Buster Crabbe, the original Flash Gordon.
Yeah.
Right? He played Flash Gordon, Buck Rogers.
Right.
He was one of the Tarzans. And yeah.
Buster Crabbe. That's crazy. That's the history, yeah. And then, is there any question for Manuel Garcia or Sam J. Jones in the building? We got like 10 minutes
Yeah, let's
left.
ask Manuel, man. He's all the way here from, tell him where you're from. Spain. Yeah.
Great, man. Where in Spain do you live?
I live in Salamanca.
Salamanca.
Yeah, it's a small town, university town, near Madrid in the center.
Nice.
Yeah,
That's great,
a
man.
nice place and small town.
Great. So, what is some of your favorite films of the old school films as a comic writer and artist?
For me, my favorite films are the bad, the ugly, and the good, the bad, the ugly. Yeah, and
The good, the bad, the ugly.
my favorite film for all time. Yeah, and Conan the Barbarian.
Wow.
So those are basic for me, and why not? Probably Flash Gordon is a good choice there.
Yeah. And as far as comics, you have anything lined up that you can talk about? What's up next for you? You're gonna do more Flash Gordon stuff?
Yeah, I'm going to be doing Flash Gordon as long as they allow me to do. And I think it's going to be a good time from now, so I'm really happy with that.
That's great. Congratulations.
You know, since Flash Gordon is a so important character, somehow I want to let my footprint on the character somehow.
Right.
Hope to be able to do that in the next year or a couple of years.
You are making your footprint, absolutely.
Yeah, thank you.
He's a very humble man, but
Yeah.
I think you just signed to do at least, 20 more books or something? At least, right? At least
Yeah,
20
please.
more Flash Gordon
Amazing.
books.
Yeah. Amazing. Congratulations on that.
Thank you very
He's
much.
probably going to do about 20 more books. So that's Manuel Garcia, a legend in the building. So another thing. Yesterday, watching the film again, we were talking about this after we watched it for the. Yeah, we've seen it many times, but on the big screen, not so much. So it's a pretty non-linear movie. It looks like it's like a bunch of short movies after each other, which is great. Do you feel like that it helps you when you write comics, that you can actually take all these short films out of the film? Does it make any sense what I'm saying?
Let's talk about the panels, transitioning to movies. Yes.
Yeah, it's a bit like that. I think a lot. Like I was talking before, I
Yeah.
plan all the panels. Like if I was in a theater, I chose the camera angles and try to make every scene like a short story. I also work with have something like a cliffhanger at the end of the page. So try to everyone want to turn the page and keep the story. So
Great.
I mean, what's cool is, correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe most superheroes in the movies started out as a comic book.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So, and it's no accident that the panels we're talking about in the comic book, the different squares, that in the older days, not so much anymore, but in the older days making movies, the director always wanted to look at a storyboard by the artist.
yeah, the storyboard is like a comic. Yeah, it's like a comic with the same size panels.
That's true, man. That's an interesting link.
And I don't know why they don't use the storyboard artist anymore, because what that does, it's a guide for the director. While he's filming his movie, you go, okay, what scene is next? Oh, it's like the comic. Let me take Manuel Garcia's comic book. There's the panel. Okay, I want the actors here. So, yeah, storyboards by artists have been around for years during the making of the movie. But I want to see more of that. You don't see it that much anymore. A lot of it is digital now.
Yeah, I love the fact that they used to be more like art and physical art, right? Like comics, really. That's crazy. That's nice. Is there any question for Manuel Garcia or Sam J. Jones? We're going to wrap this up in about 5 minutes. So we're talking Flash Gordon, the number 0 comic, Mad Cave Comics, only 500 copies made. There are some floating around maybe, but I think they're almost all gone. You guys got the last 20 copies. They were signing them yesterday, and it's just great to have them here. I'm enjoying this panel. Are you guys having a good time still? No. Are you guys having a great time still? You just like your
We need to talk about football. Wait,
Yeah, soccer.
I heard there's a little football game tonight. What time is that, 7 o'clock?
WK, wie gaat kijken? Ja?
What time's the game tonight?
Hoe laat begint het? Hoe laat? 7 uur, yeah, 7 o'clock.
Oh. Well, who are you going to be rooting for? Come on, Netherlands, yes! Come on, yeah. Oh, wait a minute. We have somebody from a different team here tonight. We're not going to identify him, though.
I saw my man Oliver Stark rocking the orange Bergkamp shirt, so the vibe is here. I love the fact that you were talking about the soccer, the football stuff.
It's huge here. You know, to be honest with you, I played American football. So I didn't play a lot of, football. I didn't play a lot of soccer, football in America. I played it one time on a movie. We were making a movie in a country called Mauritius. And the local people challenged us to a football match. And I'd never played before, right? So I said, I'll do that. So they put me at the goalkeeper. So guess how many goals were scored on me within 10 minutes? 12 goals. I was terrible. I was horrible. I mean, it's a gift, guys. It really is a gift, the way you play football. I can't do that. I can't do that.
But one more thing though, you are a Marine, right, originally?
I am. Yeah, I joined the Marine Corps 1972.
Amazing.
And in my mind, I'm still a Marine. So he's doing the math. See, I've only been an actor 50 years. I've been a Marine for 54 years.
Yeah. Semper Fi.
Semper Fi.
Yes,
You gotta
sir.
tell them what that means. It means always faithful.